Let's do it. All right, back another episode. Bachelor
We're
recap. Allie, how we doing?
doing good. Last night was an interesting episode in a lot of ways, but we're moving right through it. We're getting so close to him finding the love.
Yeah,
The one.
I kind of feel like if you watch the show with like all these characters, like you kind of feel like you're a little bit a part of it, and like at the end you're like, damn, I'm kind of exhausted too. Like, holy
Yeah.
fuck. Like that's how I was feeling.
I was too. I mean, and you can totally get like you could get the anxiety like if you don't have the first fantasy suite state, you're like, okay, so he's sleeping over with this girl.
Yeah,
Am I next or am I going to be the last one? Like that would just be like emotionally traumatic for me, I think.
yeah. It was like, yeah, honestly, like being in that situation, it was just like like it would be tough. Like you're just sitting there in your hotel room basically by yourself, knowing that like, let's be
I
honest,
know.
they're having sex. Like
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and if they aren't, then they're probably going home.
exactly,
Like,
exactly. And
like I think the theme of it all around could have just been like too personal. You know what I mean? Like, it's an
yes.
uncomfortable concept because you're just like, you either are seeing somebody about to hook up for the first time,
Hmm.
and like, I feel like children and teens watch this, like young kids, or in this case, you're seeing like a very heartfelt conversation between a guy and like his estranged father. So it's like this is like deep on a lot of levels.
Yeah, Rachel Lindsay came out and said like they should have cut that out, and like I don't know, like I just like I mean, to my like I had my dad growing up, so I can't speak to that fact, but like I just feel like that conversation like could be dealt with outside of TV. Like I just feel like that's a tough conversation to have on TV.
Yeah, yes. And it probably was just like a lot of pressures for Matt, like on what I don't know. Like I just think like in those moments, like you want to be like your most honest and
Hmm.
open with because you're trying to come to a conclusion, and I just feel like you can't do that when you know there's going to be a million people watching this.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like it's just like I don't know, like yeah, it was tough to watch because like you did feel like it was like an actual like you did feel like it was a real conversation, like the way they both were speaking, but like then you also like would take a step back and be like, yo, why am I watching this? Like I don't
Yeah,
like
like I
this is
felt like I
just
was improving.
yeah, it's just like that's not like what I want to watch. Like honestly, like no disrespect to either of them, but like that's just like I don't know. Like I don't I feel like it's just it was a tough conversation to listen to. I don't know.
And then did you
I
see him tweeted about it? He was like, "This was just as uncomfortable for me to relive too," and
yeah,
I
and
felt for
I bet it was, and like it kind of seemed like the dad was caught off guard. Like I think the dad knew like they were going to talk a little bit, like that was probably like told to him, but like to get that deep into it, like I don't think he had any clue it was going to go like that. Like
Oh yeah, I know. Like I almost thought they were gonna have this, heart to heart. And like I said, I grew up with my dad too, so I guess I don't know like the certain specifics of how these situations go.
yeah,
But I was hoping I was like, oh, maybe his dad will be like, okay, you know what, I'm really sorry. But his dad almost seemed to like brush it off, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Matt must be feeling so awful right now, and we're all like watching.
yeah,
Oh
like when he responded like no one's perfect, I was like, yo, like just take the L right here, man.
yeah, like maybe
Yeah,
just make him feel better. He's your son, like
yeah, exactly. So
like
so that
hopefully it'll redeem itself with his mom next week because I see like we see his mom finally comes on the show, so that'll be good.
she seems like she is like a strong like I would be scared to meet her if I was like like she does not like there's always those scary moms to meet or scary like she
Yes,
seems like and not scary like in any like she just seems like a strong-willed woman and she says whatever is on her mind and that's
yes,
like the most terrifying mom to meet.
like kind of like a no bullshit lady. I could see that.
And she'll tell you exactly how she's feeling too. So if she feels bullshit, she'll probably just call it out, which is like, oh, okay. Like,
I know. Well, like from the previews, it looks like both of them are gonna end up crying, like Michelle and Rachel at
and
certain point.
and Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, like, literally the preview for next episode, we're skipping ahead, but it was just everyone crying.
I know. So I'm like, what is about to happen on the finale?
I know, like,
I'm nervous.
that's what's, like, so insane, and then, like, he has that little scene where Chris is like, "You alright?" He's like, "I don't know if I can do this anymore," and it's like and then it cuts to Rachel, and she's like, "I just don't know what to think, he didn't even wanna see me today." So, it's like, what is going on? Like,
I know. Oh
um,
my gosh, I know.
but let's get into the 3 separate dates.
Okay.
Michelle
Yes.
goes first. First off, people in Pennsylvania are weird as fuck. That's not a massage. That's not a spa day. Like anyone who actually does that, you guys are weird.
Yeah, like with wasn't it like they were rubbing like butter on each other or something? Like
Butter, like sitting in oatmeal, like milk bath, like
that cannot be good for you. I just don't think that's good for your skin. I'm not an expert, but like I would never do that.
yeah,
Like,
like imagine like think of cooking and how much butter you put on it, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's so fatty." Like, you think rubbing butter on your skin is like good?
yeah, like I would feel like I would break out. Like
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
watching
Like,
it, I was like, ooh. But it definitely was like sensual, like it was setting the scene.
oh
And I think
yeah,
it was good to go from the beginning. She wanted to get into those fancy suites.
yes, yes, and, yeah, no, it definitely did that, and, like, they had, like, the scenes where it looked like they were all, like, oiled up together and, like, they were ready to get after it, that's for sure, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
they
better than
yeah, I mean, they have a great connection, though, like, those 2,
yeah,
mm,
I mean, they do. I know. I mean, I think I thought she could be his number one. I hope that's how it goes.
I know, like, I'm watching this and, like, honestly, like, the way Michelle's handled herself through everything, the way she goes about everything, and, like, how much they connect, it's like I feel like they're like I mean, they have the best connection out of anyone. I mean, who knows? We're not Matt, but, like, I just feel like those 2, like, connect, like, they're good for each other.
Yeah, and she's like she seems so solid and wholesome, and she's always
Mhm.
into it with him no matter what. And she tries to be positive. Like when she came back from her date to the other two girls, like I felt bad for them because she was like, it was so amazing, it was great, we were so good. Like I don't know if she was gloating or if she
Yeah.
was gonna be like, it was great, you guys are gonna have a good time, type
Yeah.
thing.
And honestly though, like, she just feels, like, real though, like, she's a teacher, she's not some, like, little Instagram model, like, she does all the like, she's just, like, a real person where, like, I feel like, most of the times on Bachelor and Bachelorette, like, we see these people and it's like, someone comes in and they might be, like, a marketing person, but, like, in reality, they have, like, 110K followers on Instagram, like, I'm
Right.
almost positive Michelle didn't have an Instagram before this or, like, deleted hers for a while, like, she only has on her Instagram when she first started, like, 2,000 followers, so, like, she's, like, a real low-key person, like
Yeah.
and
Wholesome.
honestly yes, wholesome, and honestly, in my head, I'm, like, thinking if he doesn't pick her, Matt's, like, kinda in it for, like not that he's not in it for love, but, like, I don't think he thinks he's gonna marry Rachel, like, if he picks
Right.
Rachel, like, I think
I
it's,
think
like,
yeah.
Michelle, marriage, Rachel, we can have fun.
Right. I think that's a good point. And I also noticed, like, I guess jumping ahead to Rachel's a little bit, like, she was like so in her head the whole time because she was the last one to go, which they
Yeah,
definitely did on purpose because they knew he probably liked her the most.
mhm.
And they wanted to make it, more dramatic. But I like the first couple, however long that was of their date, it seemed like she like was hating every minute of being
Yo,
there.
I I was sitting there, like, mind blown, like, okay,
No.
you are complaining that you need to make sure this date is great, that all this stuff that you've been upset because he's been with other people, and you are literally just ruining your day.
Yes. I was
Like,
like, he likes her after this, and he just likes the chase. Like,
yes. Like, it was just so, like, mind-blowing to me, though, like, she's sitting there crying, I for a second, like, I knew she obviously goes on the date, but for a second, I was like, "Is she just gonna bail on the whole date?" Like,
yeah,
and it's like, "What are you doing?" Like, this is your one chance to look, I get it, it's tough leading up to that, you're like, he's having sex with 2 other girls, probably not the best, like, whatever,
yeah.
but now you're here. It's time to put your big girl pants on and fucking go on a date.
Yeah, like, you put that in the back of your mind until you get the ring. Like, you cannot let him see it.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
like, I seriously was like, "Okay, he likes the chase, he likes when things are a little rough at first." Because then I guess it got better, but I don't know, that put a bad taste in my mouth for that date.
No, after that, I don't care what happened after that. In my head, I was like, no, no chance. Like, no. And
Yeah,
Matt's better guy, or he has more patience, or he really likes Rachel. Like, I would have made a scene. I would have been like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We have this lovely lady teaching us how to do pottery or whatever it is, and
yes,
you're sitting here bitching, being a little baby."
yes,
Like I said, I know it's hard, but you're on the fucking Bachelor. Like,
right.
come on.
Exactly, like, that's how I would act when I'm, like, mad at Jake, and I want him to figure out why. Like, you can't do that to a guy you're not even
Yes.
dating, like, you unleash the crazy when you're 2 years in, and you're
It,
comfortable doing it.
but also, Jake is just dating you. Matt has two beautiful women in other suites that he can go pick. So
True!
it's like on top of like it not being 2 years in, he also is just dating. Like Matt has two girls. They've been dating for however long the Bachelor's been going on. You're gonna go crazy like this? Like, come on.
Yeah, I thought she shot herself in the foot, but no, he he loved it.
Yeah, no, I'd almost seen like Matt feels like the person who like, yeah, I want to like co-console you. Like I want to be that
Yes.
guy to like hold you, console you. You tell me that you need me, and I love it.
You know what? That we could get, like, really psychological and deep, but I think that's a great point, and I think he probably is like that, like, he wants to feel like needed and like he's, help. I don't know, because you're right with Sarah. I didn't even know they had a connection. And then he's like stopping the group date to go console her. She's about to head home. He did,
Stopping everything.
yeah. And then Serena P, like,
And Serena P, like we all went into it every time to that point. Like we're like, they don't really get along. And then the moment she like rejects him, he was like complete 180. Like I am devastated. My heart is broken. It's like
yeah,
you're just not used to being told no, buddy.
yeah.
Like that's really all it comes down to.
I know. And it's kind of like maybe he should have sorted through those issues before he got on the show because he might not end up where he could have, potentially had his best relationship.
Yeah, right. Like if like I don't know what after watching this episode, like I liked Rachel leading up to this. Like I liked her. I didn't think from the start of I've kind of always just been saying like I think Michelle is his best option.
Yeah.
But like after this episode, I think like for me it sealed it.
Yeah.
He's dropped everything. Michelle's like, I mean, you're in this for the wrong things, or you're just an idiot if you don't pick Michelle. Like you guys have the best connection, easily.
Yes. She's solid. Yeah. I mean, it's sad too that like we barely have even touched on Bree's Day because I feel like it was sort of like he just wanted to bang and
A slap in the
send
face.
her back to the woods.
He took her
Yeah.
camping basically, and she was convinced for like half the day that they were sleeping outside. And so was I.
I
I
know.
was
And he
sitting
even
there.
was like, yeah.
I was sitting there like he's really gonna make her sleep outside. Are you serious? Like, and then obviously he didn't. But I gotta say this too. Seeing Bree at the rose ceremony and their one-on-one date when she was all dressed up and fluffed up and everything. Oh my goodness, Bree, I'm here. You're gorgeous. Like she looked good. I was like,
Oh, she did. She looks, that dress was perfect for her.
I don't I feel like these girls like they cry a lot, all this stuff goes on. So sometimes they're just not looking their best.
Right.
And then like one day they'll like really put the glam on and they look good. And like I feel like those were her 2 days of really looking good. And I was remember I stopped. I was like, damn, Brie looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I thought so too, because then she's in the car, like leaving at the end. And I was
Yes,
like, she looks so beautiful when she's crying right
I
now.
know. She just seemed like she had this like mature attitude. Like she had a mature like this is like a weird thing, but like she has a mature cry. Like people have bad cry. Like she has like a nice little cry, and like it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of fell for Brie after this episode. I was like, okay, like
I know. I feel like she's definitely going to be on Bachelor in Paradise because of it.
yeah, she'd probably be a good one. I gotta say this too though. If I was Matt and like the five girls walk in, whoever walks in, and like one of them looked like stunning that night, and it was like between two. I don't know how I would just be like, yeah, I know it's just like a brass decision, but Brie looks fucking great right now. I'm gonna get her. And then like the next day, I'm probably gonna regret it. But like that night, I mean, I'm a decisive, like right on the spot pick. Boom, we're good. Like it'd be tough though.
Like you said, like she was a mature crier, but like she was mature throughout the episode. Like she was upfront with the questions and her concerns with him.
Hmm.
And you're right. Like I fucking like could have been sleeping in the woods, and she was still like, okay, like this is weird for me, but I'm still gonna do it.
She, I mean, she said it and she gave that vibe. She is not like an outdoorsy person. And
Yeah.
she was willing to do all of that, which is like, I mean, props to you. But
Yeah.
this is what also sucks because like Michelle comes back and says that they had this spa, nice day. So you know the first date. You know what I mean? Like you know what they did, and then you get, and it's like I'm getting called Dora the Explorer, and we're going on a fucking hike. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like I'd be pissed.
I would be too.
I'd be pissed.
And it almost seems like he just like maybe he knew going into it that he didn't like her.
I
And
know, but like, why don't you do something like I don't know, kind of sexy? Like you just want to bang her.
right.
Like do
Set the
yoga.
mood.
Yeah, do yoga or something weird or something like sexy, like hiking.
Right.
Like come on, box, do something.
Smell like leaves and all this other shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Matt's not even like an outdoorsy person. So it's not like that was like in up his alley. It's not like they had some like country boy from Tennessee doing it. Matt like even said he knows nothing about any of this. So it's like, come on.
I know. Yeah, she got gypped. I feel bad for her.
I did too. I did too. I felt bad for her. And like it didn't help, or for me, it didn't help seeing her and she was looking good. I was like, damn, I feel even more bad for her. But
Yeah.
so obviously they picked those two. Next week looks fucking just insane. I don't even know really what to expect, I guess. Like it just looks like a
I don't
bunch of chaotic shit. Like it seems like would be my guess is like they're going about everything and Matt just like kind of hits his breaking point and he's just like I don't know if I can do this. And so both girls are like kind of like over pushing, trying to like talk to him, and he's probably just like, "Nah, I'm cool. I don't want to talk." And everyone just keeps hitting their breaking point. Like we saw Rachel hit her breaking point this past episode.
yeah.
I mean, it like that's what I don't understand too is like when these girls like cry and there's like 10 girls left. I'm like, do you guys understand if you go all the way, you're gonna have to be one on one with another girl? You think that's gonna be easier than 10 girls? Like,
Right. It's almost like 10 girls is easier because he hasn't, developed that strong relationships yet. So once again, like save the crazy for when it ends up just being you versus another girl. Then I can kind of understand the breaking point, but still keep it to yourself because you know it's coming if you've ever watched a show in your whole life.
that's my point is like Rachel like kind of gets a little bit of edge here because she's been cool this whole time. Like she hasn't really flipped or anything. And now she flips. So it's like, okay, that makes a little more sense. Now we both disagree how she handled the one-on-one date, but we know why she's upset. Where like you just said, if there's 10 girls, it's like, yo, like you can't be doing this. Like you doing this, like he can at least get comfort knowing he made the right decision making you go home. Like
Right. Right.
so it will be interesting to see Michelle kind of flip because I feel like I mean, like we said, she's been so even keeled the whole time.
I know. I'm wondering if it has something to do like with something his mom says.
Now, they kinda hinted at that a
Yeah.
lot, and like we both said, I mean, I'd be scared of her, so, like, that easily could be it. What I kinda find also weird, speaking on the family part, is, like, why bring the dad in for that very tough conversation, but then he doesn't even maybe he does, but why wouldn't he meet the girls then too?
I know. I know. Like, well, they were saying he needed to like get through that before he made his decision about finding love, but I'm like, I don't think that would have helped make any decisions for me.
I
Like,
feel like that would just put me in a worse set, like,
yeah,
I would just be upset the whole time then, like
right. Like that almost, I don't know. That almost backfired, I think. I hate
yeah,
to say.
Yeah, so next week, what they have is it an hour show, then an hour live show, or is it
Yeah, so yeah, well, it's like they'll kind of do it intermittently. So they're gonna keep showing what happened, but then they're still gonna
yeah,
be live this time.
okay,
But the
okay.
last hour's I think gonna be I really think like they always say you have no idea what's gonna happen. Like this time, I genuinely have no idea what's gonna happen.
And I hope we don't. It's been, like, released a few times that he picks Rachel and whatnot. Like,
Yeah,
I fucking hope we and obviously, even if he does pick Rachel, like, I still don't think we know what will happen because of, like, everything that went on
right.
social media and everything. We heard that they broke up then, if he did pick her. So, like, it I mean, the live show will be interesting. Now we're hearing rumors that him and Heather are dating, which I could totally
Completely
see it.
possible.
Yeah, like, it seemed like she would be the one to be okay with that. Like, she would
Yeah,
100% be okay with that.
yeah.
She would probably just be like, "Yeah, I've got my name in there," and he'll probably come running back, and I respect him for staying on the show. Boom.
Right. And since she wasn't a contestant, like he's not obligated to marry her by any bachelor bylaws or whatever. Like they
They
could
can
just date.
yes, like normal people and just date.
Yeah.
Yes. But it would be wild though if he does pick Rachel and he like dated her or was engaged to her for like a little bit of a time and then now he's dating Heather. It'd be like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah. I know. I also am like wondering how like are they even gonna bring Rachel out? Because what is the
Yeah.
audience gonna do? Like,
You know what I was also thinking is like, so she was like wrecked this whole episode, and she was like, "I honestly just don't know like what my life would be like without him. Like, I just need him to tell me or someone else right now." Like, could you imagine like how heartbroken she is that if this all happened where he did pick her and then they break up because of everything off of social media, like
yeah.
she is probably just in shambles.
Yeah. And it's like I don't want to, I'm not trying to get political here, but like she went into the show probably like not assuming that something like that from her past was going to come out. She
Right,
maybe scrub her social media enough. It shouldn't have been done, but like, that's something she can't right now in this moment control. So like,
right.
I would just be like, oh my gosh, like, I feel terrible. I feel I do feel a little bit of sympathy for her. She seems to be, she's taking it all like a champ because people keep ripping
Yeah.
one.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I feel like it would be in poor taste too for The Bachelor if they invite her on just so that all these public people can rip her apart too. Cause it's just like,
Oh, I mean, because it would just kind of be like, I mean, you've been downplaying bullying. People have been complaining about it. Like she made a mistake, and like unlike a lot of people, like first off, Chris Harrison is coming back. Okay, so and
right,
he handled his mistake way worse than anyone else.
right,
This chick made mistakes, has owned it, has done stuff, has owned it better than majority of people have ever owned mistakes. What she
right.
did was completely wrong. We all understand that, but like she just keeps getting ripped on. She hasn't deleted her social media. She hasn't gone and done like she has just maintained the course that she's set herself to be, and she tries to get better every day. And it's like I just don't think like it like you said, it's not really fair for her because it's like everyone else has gotten canceled and then ripped on for like 2 weeks and then put right back to where they were.
Right.
It's not very fair to her for her to be the same situation and to
Right.
handle it better than everyone else and then still get
Yeah.
thrown aside.
Like she didn't even I don't even think I saw her argue with anybody. Like she's kept her comments on her Instagram. And
I
I'm like,
know. I know. I've seen a few where like they'll rip on her and she'll be like, "I agree. What I did was wrong." Like
wow.
like, think about that. Like, yes, she like, some of it, people are like, you gotta do this." So she's doing it, but, like, to really go through comments, like, you really gotta feel bad.
I know.
Like,
Because
how
people
many
can
times
be brutal in those comments.
that's and you don't know who they are. It's not like anyone is it's just, like, some random fucking fat guy behind a screen saying this stuff, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, it's like, some people who, like, their publicists write these sorry notes and stuff, and they say it, and they don't say anything after that ever again.
Yeah.
So she's sitting there responding to comments, doing all. So like, yeah, I mean, I do think she deserves better. And honestly, like, I don't know, like if Matt does pick her, and then that's why they break up. Like, was Matt really in it for the right reasons? Then, like,
Right. Good point. Yeah.
like everyone's throwing shade on all these girls, but like, I mean, if Matt goes with nobody and he threw this whole crying tantrum and everything like that, like, come on, man. Like, I just,
Yeah. Right. Like, where was his heart?
yeah,
The
that's what I'm saying. Like no one, no, you keep saying you care about these girls, but like you care about them in the little moment. It seems like so
Yeah.
rough. It'll be interesting though. Like I said, I do like I am more excited about this one because I feel like the last one, like everyone kind of knew, like
Yeah.
Peter is with no one. Like everyone kind of knew that. Like he
Yeah.
wanted Madison, but he picked Hannah Ann,
Yep.
and that didn't work out. Actually, going into that, the rumor was that now he was with Kelly at that point. So it was like, I mean, everything was kind of already out. Everyone kind of knew, and like everyone was just kind of on the same like side of like Pete sucks. Like, why was he even the Bachelor? This
Yeah.
one is like, there's like 90 different things that could happen, and
Yeah.
like I would be shocked. Not, I guess, not shocked, but like every different scenario.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I mean, ugh, yeah, it's just so open ended. Like I feel like with Pete's, there were like you're right, like a few ways it could go. But this one,
Mhm.
it's like who knows? He could pick somebody from earlier on. He could be like Sarah.
That's what
Yep,
I'm
going
saying.
back.
That's what I'm saying is like, for a little bit we're like, "Oh, okay, he picks Rachel." And then it's like, "Oh, wait, no, he might not have picked Rachel." And then it's like, "Well, actually, you remember Heather? She was in it for 30 seconds. She's back in the picture."
Yeah,
And then it's like, then, at the women tell all, it's like, "Wait, does he still kind of like Serena because she denied him?" Like Matt seems like a person who doesn't get denied a lot. So is he like, "Oh, I kind of like her. She denied me."
right. I mean, I could see that too. It'll be really interesting to see. This is probably the one episode this whole season that I've been like so anticipating and excited to watch.
Yeah, like I feel like this episode, like, yeah, interesting stuff happened. Rachel cried, but like, I don't know. I think me and you would agree that we knew, like, yeah, 3 dates, three
Right.
sexual interactions, and
We were pretty sure it was going to be. I was, Rachel and Michelle. I think we
that's what
talked
I'm
about it.
saying. Yeah, yeah. So like, I think and honestly, I feel like we've been kind of spot on of like
We have.
what's gonna happen next. This is the first time like I'm excited where it's like I don't know.
Yeah. I really have no predictions. Like if you ask me, I have no idea what's going to happen.
I would agree, and I'm just
Oh,
excited.
there's a
Huh?
new host.
Yeah, oh yeah, there is a new host. So that is something to look at because yes, Chris Harrison is serving out his, I don't know, do you call it a suspension? It seems like a suspension, but
Yeah.
um, he so it's a new host and Chris Harrison has been running this for a while. So like he knows how to talk to these people, he knows the questions to ask, he knows the whole dramatics of everything.
Right. And
Like
this guy's
he
coming out of left field.
exactly. He's a football player and stuff. Like he was a football analyst. I don't know exactly what he's doing right now, but like it just doesn't seem like he was like really, I don't know, like did he ever watch The Bachelor? You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
I'm
Is
sure
he
he's had
Matt?
to,
Like, I
I'm
don't.
sure he's had to watch a lot lately, but it's like did he but I always got to say this. Why does Chris Harrison, it's definitely the dramatics though, but like when they go to the final rose, why does he have to come up and say, "Ladies, this is the final rose"? Like we all fucking know it's the final rose, Chris. There's one sitting right there.
Yeah, seriously. I think, maybe it's like written in his contract. He has to say rose a certain amount of times.
Yeah, that would be honestly funny. Like you could do like a drinking game every time Chris Harrison says rose, you got to take a shot.
You could. Or
Would you?
yeah, like I think I tweeted this. Like every time he says, you have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yes, that's every episode. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, Chris, yes, we do. Rachel falls out of an airplane. Like,
Yeah, like we just saw
oh,
it in the preview. We have a guess.
That's what I was gonna say though, is Matt, I felt he got a little dramatic when he was like, so when they had that, him and Rachel had that very serious conversation, and he like looked at her and he was like, I don't like thinking like dark thoughts, but when I saw you land on the ground, my head went there to dark thoughts. I was like, yo, come on.
I know.
Like if anything, like the worst case in that situation, though, after seeing them land, like she broke her leg. That's the worst case.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had dark thoughts. Like, dude, she didn't fucking die.
I know. And like they literally met like her parents that night.
Yeah, exactly.
And like she had enough makeup that it covered it up. I mean, I feel like if that were bad, you would have seen like the stitches and the
What's my point is like I feel like it was like one of those like boom hit. It is kind of bad, but
yeah.
like yeah, after we like put some ice on it and you put some makeup on it, it's like one of those things you can get rid of. So it's like, is it
Yeah.
bad? Like I don't think so.
And he was like, my thoughts got dark. Yeah, I
no when
I was like,
when
chill.
he said that, I was like, I almost like there's always like certain points in reality TV, whether it's like Siesta Key, Bachelor, The Hills, like certain points of episodes where like I kind of just have to stop and be like, yo, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here?
No. I know.
Like he could have just been like, I really care about you. Like, if he would have went the route of saying like, um, me not being around you these past few days has really made me think like I love you. I would have been
Yeah.
like odd because you've been having sex with other people, but I respect that more than you being like, my head went to dark places. Like, dude, come on,
I
stop.
know. Like, did you read that somewhere?
Yeah, it's almost like you have like, a little worker like holding up the sign and then dropping the next one and then
Yeah.
dropping the next one.
Like
So
too emotional moment.
yeah, and then I always feel like he does like he should act because he always has the dramatic pause where he's like, and I just had dark thoughts, and it's like, yo, just talk fucking normal, dude.
And his eyes are either like this or they're like big and wide.
He
Oh,
does get really wide-eyed. Wow, we went on a nice little rant there. That was good though.
I
That was
know.
good though. But yeah, I think next week, like we said, I think we've been pretty spot on what's gonna happen. So it's kind of made talking about it kind of boring-ish.
Yeah.
But like next week is gonna be interesting just because like, oh, I fucking hope Heather's there. I hope Rachel's there, but for a good sake, I hope Michelle's there. I hope they bring Bree there. I hope they bring Serena there. I
Yeah.
hope they bring Tyler Cameron there. Like
Yes. Hannah
Hannah.
Brown. Like, get
Yes,
them all.
Hannah Brown. Just get everyone there and we just watch.
Yeah. We should like see if Ryan wants to come back and we can do an after the final rose.
Yes, next Monday night.
Yeah.
We should do it next, like I feel like next week it will be like the prime one to do right
Yeah.
after the after show.
See like what all of our reactions are.
Yeah, because like I hope we like are here and we're all just like, huh?
I know. I know. If that happens, like it'll be good. It'll be the first time that Chris Harrison is actually right, where we have no idea what's going to happen at this season.
I know, like you said, he always says that, and then you're like, oh, Chris, I think we have an idea, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, like hopefully we don't this time.
I know.
Um, I don't know. I was thinking about this. I don't know why this has nothing to do with The Bachelor, but do you ever have so like when you scroll on Twitter and like a tweet will pop up and you're like, oh, that's funny as shit, but
Yeah.
it's someone and then you look and it was just posted 43 seconds ago because Twitter just popped up for you. Are you hesitant on the like button for it?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. Honestly, me thinking about it, I think it was your tweet. Like it was a tweet about Abby for Bachelorette.
Oh, oh
And
my God. Because it's who Katie, who's going to be the alleged.
yes, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I can't like it right now. She just posted it 43 seconds ago, and I stopped And then honestly, I think I forgot. This is what always happens to me. It happens with text messages too, because like I'll be sitting there, and if I'm like really bored, like if I'm texting someone, like I don't even leave the screen. I'm just like sitting there because I'm like I'm not doing anything, and then like I'll sit there. I'm like I don't know if I should respond this quick, and then boom,
Boom.
3 hours go by. I forgot to respond because I was like I gotta wait a little bit, and then I like
Yeah.
totally forget. But okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, I do that a lot. And like even on like Instagram stories, like, I'll just happen to see it when somebody's boom. And I'm like, wow, the first one to see it after
Yes. No, and you can't do anything about that one. You're like looking, you're like, oh, that was 43 seconds ago. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, you're like, give me a warning so I don't look like
yeah,
a stalker.
exactly. Like, oh, all right. That's my one little segment this week that I was thinking of.
It's okay. I mean, like maybe the viewers relate.
Yeah, I hope they do. But we do have an announcement for everyone who watches our show. Up Your Alley is coming back. That is Allie's podcast. She will
It's
have it
coming
on
back, baby.
She'll have it on Spotify. She has, what is it, 10 episodes,
Yep.
10
I'm only
interviews,
doing
10 interviews,
10 interviews. Yep.
10
I've
episodes.
got them lined up. Once I got them secured, I will release the list of who I'm interviewing.
There we go. So 10 episodes, 10 holy shit, 10 episodes, 10 guests, and it'll be back on her Spotify page. We will retweet them and everything, but we'll be back next week for the after show. We will ask Ryan to join us. But this is another episode of Really Witty.
See you guys next week.